Video Game Hunter here, and welcome to another Why You Should Get series. And today, I'm going to give you guys reasons on why you should get a Retron 5 from Hyperkin. And for those who don't know what a Retron 5 is, it's basically a system that will play multiple consoles in one. Kind of like that cheap-ass Yobo system that will only work for a couple of months before it starts breaking down. But don't worry, the Retron 5 will last as long as you take good care of it. So, that said, no further ado, let's take a look.
Reason number 1. The Retron 5 is a great way to save shelf space because this thing can pretty much play up to 10 different systems. This thing can almost play all the Game Boy games, Nintendo, Famicom cartridges, Super Nintendo, Super Famicom, Genesis, Mega Drive, and if you have a power-based converter, this will also play the Master System games in its hue cards. So if you don't want all those systems and wires making one big mess around your entertainment shelf, this is a great substitute for all those systems. Reason number 2. I must say, this controller that comes with the system is not that great. But the good news is that if you own those old retro controllers like the Genesis, Nintendo, or Super Nintendo, all 3 of those will work on here perfectly. And top of that, if you're one of those people who want to get into Sega Genesis games but hate the Genesis controllers, well, I got good news for you. There's actually a controller setting you can go to where it allows you to set up your preferred controllers and map out the buttons. So if you prefer the Super Nintendo controllers, well, now you can use that on the Genesis games. However, don't expect the NES controller to work well on all the Genesis or Super Nintendo games, since it really only has like 2 buttons compared to games that will require you to have 6. Reason number 3. This one can be considered good or bad depending on what type of a gamer or collector you are, but we're going to talk about the positive first for now and talk about the negative in the part 2 in my next Why You Shouldn't Get series. So that said, the third reason why you should get this system is that because it's an emulator system. And just like any emulator you download on your computer, this thing has save states. So if you ever want to take a break from your game and come back later without losing all your progress, well, you can just save state it. Another neat save feature that the Retron 5 has is that when you turn off your system or swap your game out, next time you put that game back into the system, it will load up the last spot you left off from. Which is pretty cool. It kinda sounds like you don't even need a save state. But believe me, if you know how to use the save state correctly, it can be mighty handy at times. Reason number 4. If you're one of those people like me who also enjoys collecting and playing import games that never got released here, or their game has some major differences compared to what we got, well, I actually got some good news for you. The Retron 5 is region free. So any games that has a region lock, like Sailor Moon on the Mega Drive, you'll be able to play it just fine on here. However, there are a lot of games that came out in Japan and other countries that not everyone will be able to understand how to play or know what to do due to different language and text barriers, like role-playing games and some platforming games. Despite this, there is a way for you to play some of these games with almost no issue by downloading the Retron 5 firmware 2.0 or later, which will allow you to download fan translation patch and use them on these legal owned copies of your games, and it's really easy to do. First, Google search the game you need the patch for, download the file, open it, then drag the IPS or UPS file to your SD card. Put the SD card into your Retron 5, then that system menu, go to Game Menu, Game Specific Settings, select the patch you need for your game, then you should be done. Now, remember, this is a fan translation patch, so there is a chance that not everything will be translated or translated correctly, or even work right. One example is that I wanted to play Sailor Moon Another World, and the patch I found wouldn't work on Retron 5 right away. But I later soon found out if I gone back to Game Specific Settings and select Patch Expects Header and switch it on, now the game runs and it's almost perfect. Now the only issues I have now with this patch is that now the opening cutscenes text is kinda messed up, but the rest of the game, so far, I can read the text just fine. Reason number 5. For whatever reason why you don't like how your games look on your HD TV, the Retron 5 actually has some pretty cool features that allows you to change the outlook on your game. Like Image Filter, which allows you to change the outlook on the graphics from being pixelated, smooth coloring, some bit of blurriness, and more. It all depends on your personal preferences on how you want your graphics to look. You also have an option for scanline for those who love playing their games on those old CRT televisions, and plus many more options for you to mess with. So just keep messing with these settings until you find the look you like the most.
And those are my reasons why you should get a Retron 5. But please, stay tuned for my part 2 of my video on why you shouldn't get a Retron 5, which will be released at some point next year in 2017. But if you feel like you got enough information that you want to hear that makes you want to get a Retron 5 now, then all means go right ahead. Especially since it's a great way to save a lot of shelf space on your entertainment section. So, that said, this is a Video Game Hunter, and until next time, goodbye.
Thank you for watching my video. Please give it a like and subscribe for more videos. You can also follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Twitch, and DeviantArt. If you have some free time on your hands, please check out the Console Xplosion and other features on the site. Well, again, until next time, goodbye.